Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic, and welcome back to the channel. And today, with you guys, is another podcast with my good buddy Recon Trooper here on YouTube.
Hey there, folks. Recon Trooper here, and if you're watching my version of this podcast, I hope you enjoy the Jedi Fallen Order and Call of Duty gameplay in the background. Modern Warfare 1, because
which Call of Duty?
Modern Warfare 3 sucks.
I'm sure that's going to be a topic.
Yeah.
Of today. I'm probably doing Just Cause 2, you guys, so make sure to drop a like, subscribe to both myself and Recon Trooper. Going to have a channel link down in the description, of course, and all the other fun stuff. But we have some good topics, so again, make sure to buckle up. We're probably going to focus on going around an hour, because that's usually the length we try to go to. We might go a little over, but that's kind of the standard here. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. What is your first topic?
Okay, so mine is... Well, I decided to watch this movie a couple weeks ago, I guess, and after watching it, I started getting into the games again, at least the ones that I play, and that is Pokemon, and so I've only played up to Black and White 2. I have never gone beyond, even though I did recently download Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, which is it's basically Pokemon, a remake of Pokemon Yellow, except there's two versions. There's a Pikachu and an Eevee version, and I got the Eevee one because of certain guys that you can only get on that one. But basically it's basically just all the Generation 1 guys with a few Generation I guess 7, I think is what it's from. Just very few Generation 7 stuff, like these things called Mega Evolutions, but I don't really care about those. I'm a 1 to 5 person, not past that. So, but
yeah, well, there's so many to keep track of too now.
Yeah, well, also too, I mean, like Black and White were on the DS. Released on the DS at the time, and the DS has a cheat device called an action replay, and you basically can have like insane amounts of experience from really weak guys, so you can actually level up better. And you can have like well, I wouldn't say unlimited, but you can have like 999 or 900 anyway of all the items that you can consume or use or whatever, like you don't have to worry about running out, so to speak, too quickly.
Okay.
And as far as I'm aware, the X and Y, which was the next one after Black and White, that was for the 3DS, and as far as I'm aware, there was no action replay for the 3DS, they
got rid of it,
or beyond. Well, as far as I'm aware, there might be one. But like Black and White, up to that point, it's 649 Pokemon, and that's not including That's not including all the different forms of many of them. So, I don't need more than 649.
Yeah, at that point, you're getting greedy.
Yeah. No, just, like, it's kind of like Call of Duty. When does it end, Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, right. It ends when no one buys the games. Now, I've played a few Pokemon games as a kid.
Yeah.
I did play Black and White. I'll be honest, I was introduced to Pokemon through my cousin. She was like, "Oh, watch the anime. It's so freaking cool." And I was like, "All right, I'll watch the anime." And it is good. I don't know if you watch the show, everyone listening and all that, but Pokemon actually as a show, I don't know if you guys
I'm aware. Thinking of getting the show when I get money again, because I looked on eBay and there was like a 25 season thing plus like several movies or something, a whole thing on eBay that I saw, and it looked it looked like a decent price if you've got the money for it. Like,
And how
it's
much
not,
are we talking?
well, I don't entirely remember. It was like in the approximately 200 range, maybe, but
Okay.
not like other people probably would have it with like 1,000 or whatever. But
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I mean, if you're getting all those seasons and some movies, I mean,
yeah,
I'm gonna have to take you up on that. When you find it, send me a link because that's a Christmas gift right there.
yeah. Well,
Because
but,
growing up without cable and all that, I mean, I still don't
but
have
I
cable,
would still.
but, you know,
This is including all the stuff after black and white too. But I would only watch up until black and white, and then I'd stop it there because, like I said, I don't care about after that. Black and white was my limit. Well, I should say black and
well,
white.
you might like the story.
Black and white 2, I should say, was my limit.
Mm.
And then X and Y and beyond, except for Let's Go Eevee right now, which is only the Generation 1 guys, Pokemon 150 and all 150 guys. Which of course I'm also thinking of getting another Switch just so I can trade between the two versions, so I can get more guys. Because there's exclusives, and then there's also guys that evolve when you trade them, and
oh, I see. Okay,
like you have to trade them to evolve them, which
right.
So, but right now I'm just focusing on getting what all the main guys that I've been using just to level 100 now through this kind of loophole that I discovered through some YouTubers that I saw. Well, one in particular anyway. But yeah, back to the movie though. I just kind of wanted to watch it again, and it's just you don't like the actress that plays on that in Quantumania, but I don't find her too bad in Pikachu. I mean,
no, I think she's actually pretty good.
But I mean, you gotta admit, it's not the same thing. Like, she's good in Pikachu because it's not supposed to be that serious. I mean, it's not a Marvel thing for one thing. So, an actress going from a silly thing like Detective Pikachu to a more, hardened thing
still silly,
like
but
Marvel.
not as silly.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think she's just better I mean, I haven't seen Quantumania, so I haven't experienced her bad acting in that. So, but she doesn't. She's not too bad in Detective Pikachu, and I mean,
no.
But
I love that movie. I mean, like I said, I've seen a lot. I haven't seen all the anime, obviously. I want to, but that was my first kind of, I guess, introduction into the franchise. Was just the anime. I just watched a few episodes.
Well, I got introduced by the games Red and Blue. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I got introduced to Red and Blue because I think my brother either had it or was borrowing it or something, and I kept playing, and I didn't know much about how the game worked much at the time, and so I only ever, if ever, I only got like the first badge, and my brother would, of course, have a game already done on there, and I would end up accidentally saving over it and erasing all of his progress.
Oh, no.
Like I think there were times though I was trying not to save. Like I would just get the first badge and then be done. And then
right.
Yeah, and then Gold and Silver came
Accidents
out,
happen.
and then I got. I think I borrowed Gold, and then the person that I was borrowing it from, just gave it to me.
Well, that's good.
Just let me have it. And then, of course, Ruby and Sapphire came out, and I've got my Ruby version here for the Game Boy Advance. Which my Game Boy Advance still works, but I can also play it on my DS because it's got a dual port thing.
Mm.
And then there's also the Leaf Green, which is kind of like a remake of Red and Blue. Um,
Are they still making Pokemon games on the DS? I mean, I would doubt it, right?
no, they've got what is it? They've got
Because I mean, they're mostly on the Switch now.
yeah. Uh, I forget what the latest ones are. Scarlet and Violet. That's it. They're on the Switch.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
But
I haven't played many of the games. I played a few. You've definitely played more than me, but I've definitely.
yeah,
For
I
me,
played
it
at
was the
least.
show of
I
the
played at least
movies
one.
and the cards.
I've played at least one version per generation.
Okay.
And of course, I've played. Like I said, I have Leaf Green as well, which is for Game Boy Advance. And again, it's basically a remake of the very first Pokemon games. You know, Red and Blue. They had Fire Red and Leaf Green, and Green actually was released, but it was in Japan at the time, and for some reason they released it as Blue in the U.S. But it's
So I flew to Japan.
yeah, but it's Leaf Green now. But and then after that came Diamond and Pearl, and then after that came Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And those are the only two that I actually have both versions of, because there's a specific legendary you need to get that you can get in both of them, but you need the exclusive legendary from the other traded over to have to
that's
have
how
both.
they get you.
Yeah, you have to have both legendaries from exactly those games. You can't just cheat and have a random one appear in the game. It has to be exactly from the other version.
Right.
And in order to get this powerful legendary unlocked and catchable, and then Black and White came out, and I got White version, and then finally White 2 was like a year or two later. And it's actually
they ran out of colors.
It's an actual sequel. Like, it actually, there's this guy called N that catches basically the legendary from the other version in Black and White. So, I've got White, so the legendary from the Black version is the one he ends up with, and then in the sequel, White 2, you battle him, and then you can catch that one that he had.
I see. Okay, so it is a direct continuation.
Yeah. And some characters, like one of your rivals from White, ends up becoming a gym leader in White 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a different rival in the sequel. So the rival you had in the first one is just a regular character in the second one.
Now, what do you think about Team Rocket?
Yeah, they're okay. And in Let's Go, you actually fight the anime characters a couple of times.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah,
and that's the only time. That's the only time you actually have a double battle in that game, is when you fight those two. There's no double battles.
Okay, that's cool.
Otherwise, unless you send send out two guys with co-op, you send out two guys against one guy, and it's basically 2 versus 1, like literally, like it's only the one opponent Pokemon, and you're 2 Pokemon fighting him.
Makes
kind
sense.
of weird, but
yeah. See, well, I had my DS when I was. I don't know. For some reason, I had a DS, then I had a 3DS, and for some reason, I don't have both. I don't know what happened. I think my 3DS broke. I have no clue. I need to get it again, because I really do want to play these Pokemon games on DS. Because, when I was a kid, I had a few of them, like I said, but I never really, maybe I was a stupid kid, I don't know. But I never, beat them. I just kind of, mucked around. I just kind of, ran around in the grass and battled random Pokemon like a moron. For me, as I said, it was really that show and the Pokemon cards. I mean, I have a poop ton of cards. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've got a binder full of them. Not every card.
Yeah,
but
I had a binder of rare cards, but I lost it.
Yeah. Well, so
that's not good.
I've got up to, I think, Diamond and Pearl in terms of Pokemon cards. And I've got I got 2 giant ones of the legendaries in the binder, and they're just kind of in the sleeves.
Ooh.
I put them in. They're like a regular Pokemon card. And then you make it like about the size of a small, kind of a small Lego box kind of size. That's how big they are. But
just don't ever sell them because they're gonna be worth a lot of money one day.
no, I haven't even touched them. They're just sitting in my bookshelf. So
okay.
But yeah, but Pokemon.
But no, I mean,
Pokemon Let's Go has been definitely, it's frustrating because they screwed up so much on that game. Like, first of all, there's no wild battles you do. You just catch guys, that's all. There's no battling them, weakening them, and then catching them. It's just you run into a Pokemon, and then it's just you with this Pokemon, and sometimes they jump around the screen or fly around the screen, and you need to use the motion controls in the Switch Joy-Cons, and they've messed it up so bad. Like, you have to actually aim the thing, and the aiming is horrible on it because sometimes it works just fine, and then other times you throw straight, but for some reason the Pokeball goes left or right. Or if you're trying to throw left or right because the Pokemon jumped over or flew over to that side of the screen, and you try to throw that way, it throws straight. And
it kind of reminds me of motion controls. If you remember the Kinect, kind of like that. Like, it never.
I've never had Kinect, so.
Yeah, never buy it. It didn't work.
Yeah. But overall, it's okay. I mean, the Pokemon, you can have any Pokemon follow you, or in some cases, you ride them if they're too big to just follow you. Like, if they're Onix or Charizard, you can end up just riding them. And then you've also got either Pikachu or Eevee, depending on which version you have. You've always got that guy out, and Eevee's always on Eevee's always on my guy's head. I never use him because, I just, for one thing, you can't even evolve him, and that's what I don't like about this Eevee. You can't evolve it.
Evolve, dude. Eevee has like so many things he evolves into.
Yeah, well. This one you can't evolve. You can catch wild ones, which I did. I caught 3 wild ones and then evolved them. And now I just have this one.
Okay, I got you.
Now I just have this one Eevee on my head the whole time, and I'm running around.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I mean, you can have any of the 150 guys follow you or out of their Pokeballs anyway. And they're for the most part. As far as I can tell, they're to scale. There's some guys that are kind of questionable, like Psyduck is about almost as tall as you are, whereas if you've seen Detective Pikachu, you know he's not that tall.
Well, yeah, even in the anime, he's a short little chubby thing. He's not like some giant.
Yeah, but in this thing, he's like, maybe he's just under the trainer's nose as tall, and that's about how tall he is. It's just kind of weird seeing him that size. But
now, is this game an open world? Because when I was playing a lot of Pokemon,
it's a remake basically of Pokemon Yellow. If you've played that one, it's Pokemon Yellow is actually based on the anime where you start out, all you get is Pikachu, and he's always out of his Pokeball, and you fight Team Rocket. The two guys that are always causing trouble in the anime.
And Meowth.
Yeah, well, no, Meowth is there, but he's not, like, he doesn't do anything, and he actually doesn't even talk. He just makes the in-game sound that Meowth typically makes.
Figures, because if anyone has known the anime, Meowth never shuts up, so that, of course they get rid of that.
Yeah. Well, also,
nice job, guys.
What would he say? But
he just goes, "Me, that's right." That's all he does.
Yeah, but yeah, it's basically a remake of that, and of course, it's basically an open world. It's all of the Kanto region that you explore.
Oh, see, that's cool. Like, I love. You guys know I love open world games. They're probably my favorite genre. I need to. I don't know, because when I was playing Pokemon, it was the top down, and you're a little midget guy running around in like a bush. You know what I mean? It was such a linear thing. now that they're
Well, in this
'cause
thing,
like, the
Pokemon are
people you
actually
play as
coming
too,
out
they're
of the
like,
grass and stuff now. So it's not like in the
yeah,
old
yeah,
games where you're just running in grass and then all of a sudden you just have this random encounter. Like the Pokemon actually come out of the ground or the grass or whatever, and then you have to actually
okay.
walk into them to encounter them.
Yeah, see, that's cool. I like that. So
So
it sounds
you
like
kind
they've
of you kind of know where to walk around and stuff. Whereas in the original games, you kind of had to use repels like crazy.
yeah, or just pray.
Yeah, but
That's cool. Yeah, I need to get into the Pokemon games because I love everything about the franchise. Like it's crazy. It's really weird. You know what I mean? It's like I love Pokemon, but I just haven't played the games that much.
yeah, but yeah,
Plus, I
actually,
don't have any Nintendo consoles anymore.
Heart Gold and Soul Silver also did the Pokemon following you, and in it you had all 493 because at the time it was Diamond and Pearl, Black and White didn't
Like,
exist yet. So, but you could have all
okay,
493 Pokemon following you. But of course, it's not like this game where it's actually like 3-dimensional and everything looks pretty much to scale, like your guy and the
right.
Pokemon for the most part. In this thing, the sprites are obviously, the Pokemon. Even the smallest Pokemon has a sprite almost the size of the player. In Heart Gold and
Jeez.
Soul Silver. Um,
Okay.
and then the largest Pokemon is about 3 times the size of the player, but in actuality, it's actually about the size of a football field.
Yeah, right. Can you get Giratina?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can get.
Is Giratina massive like Onyx?
I'd say Giratina is probably bigger, and he's got 2 forms that both show up depending on the item that you have him holding. Like there's a type of orb that you give him, and then he turns into this Origins form, as it's called, and
Hmm.
you take the orb away, and then he turns into altered form, which is he has actual legs. Um, and you can have
That's
both. You
awesome.
can have both forms following you, as long as you have,
Yeah.
whether he's holding the thing or not is all that matters. Like every Pokemon, every form, even shiny, they all show up in the thing. So,
That's sick.
but in this game, in Let's Go though, you only get the 150 that in there, and apparently you can get Mew as well, but that required, of course, some stupid event.
Yeah, oh yeah. I remember all these events. My cousin played Pokemon like crazy on the DS, and she would go to all these events just to. I think she would go to like a Walmart, in like the back alley
Yeah,
of Gotham City, and download Mew. You know what I mean? Like I remember going to my neighbor's
yeah.
house. We had crap internet,
There's only
so we had to
one.
like
I only did
like
that kind of thing one time with White, and that was to get a. They had like a shiny. They had the 3 legendary dogs, as they're called, from Johto.
mhm.
And they had shiny versions, and you get one, and you need one of them in order to get a certain Pokemon in Black and White, and because
Mhm.
once you have it, you trigger this event, and then you can catch the Pokemon, and then after you catch it, you can breed it so that you get the pre-evolved form of it, so that you can then evolve it back into the actual the thing, and that's what I did.
Sounds like a lot of steps.
Well, it wasn't too bad. I mean, there's a whole lot others that like there's so many things for like Celebes and Mews, and it's just ridiculous. Like, why can't you just put the
It,
darn thing in the game and let people do it
yeah,
if and when they decide, instead of forcing it
yeah.
on them?
I
Like you
It's
want Mew,
probably
you got
more
to
fun
do
when you
this
think about
here
it.
and now, or you lose it for good.
Yeah, it's probably more easy or more fun to like get the Pokemon than actually use it in game because I
Well, I
guess it's
don't
like an
mind using
experience.
them
Oh,
in
I gotta go to.
game because
Yeah.
in Black and White, they actually are animated now all the time. Granted, their animations are kind of on a loop, so they do the same thing like after so long. Um,
Hmm.
it's not like an anime where like they do whatever. They just kind of like
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, that's expected though, right? That's like a Lego game, you know.
yeah, but they're animated for one, so they're not just this thing that's looking up at the opponent's Pokemon like a statue the whole time, and then this other thing looking down at your guy, you know.
Right. Kind of awkward.
But yeah, but yeah, that's what I've been doing
cool.
lately, and it took my mind off the MonsterVerse. So,
well, I mean, there's still little monsters though when you think about it.
yeah, but I'm not thinking about
Pocket monster.
I'm not thinking about Godzilla and Kong anymore right now. I mean, the movie's coming out soon, but it's not.
Yeah,
I haven't
until
been
next
obsessively
week.
thinking about it anymore like I was at the time.
Well, hey, it's all good. I love Pokemon too, but we got to move on. We got to do more topics. So my topic here is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is out. I believe it comes out today at the time of recording on Friday.
No,
I'm
gonna
see it as soon as I can, you guys. I don't know. Hopefully soon. With school and all that, I should have a review out hopefully soon. But I've seen these interviews, and it was kind of mentioned in when Afterlife came out too, and obviously it's used with the first two, but kind of a big emphasis of the filmmaking of this new film that they mentioned in the interviews. And you can kind of see it with the Star Wars sequels too, I guess, but practical filmmaking, right? Because there's a lot of CGI ghosts in this, obviously, because ghosts aren't real, I don't think. But in this, it's, they're like, oh, well, we have CGI ghosts, and then they have real practical models that they're kind of either blending with computer digital effects or whatever. But in your opinion, when you're watching something like Ghostbusters or Star Wars, for example, or even Jurassic Park / World, would you rather have a physical, practical thing you can, because as humans, we know when something's CGI, right? Like, you look at Thanos. Thanos is very good CGI. Like, he's objectively good. But
yeah,
our human eyes and brain tell us this is CGI. So what do you prefer, practical or digital in terms of effects? Because myself, I like a blend of both,
Yeah,
if it's done well.
I'm kind of that way too. I mean, I just, there's certain things you kind of only CGI can do, and then certain things like certain things you can do with practical, and perhaps it looks better.
Right.
And so yeah, I don't know. I don't have a favorite. Just as long as it looks good.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it's funny because there's this big debate been going around that
I don't have your eyes, so bad CGI I might not notice.
Yeah. I was saying is that there's this debate, where it's like people are like, oh, practical is always better and CGI is always worse. But I think in my experience of just watching a bunch of movies and TV shows that if you're going to have CGI, do it good. Because, you look back at like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy or the Star Wars prequels, those movies are made when CGI was kind of busting through the seams and kind of really kind of, I guess, popping out in terms of, oh, we can do Mustafar. It's completely CGI. We don't have to build on a soundstage. Let's just do everything CGI. Let's make every clone trooper CGI and have no practical effects. And the clones in the prequels, for example, they do look good, but at least I can tell they're CGI when they move. And I don't know if you've seen the Ahsoka show. I won't spoil it if you haven't, but in the Ahsoka TV show on Disney Plus, which okay, I won't for anyone who hasn't.
I've already seen certain things. I know they actually made physical clone troopers in that one, including Rex.
Yeah, and it really does look different. Yeah. It looks like I was watching that and I was like, oh my God, they did it. You know what I mean? I'm like, wow. It's just crazy to me. So yeah, I think that, if you're going to do CGI, especially with this new Ghostbusters movie,
do they look more like
the Ghostbusters?
Do they look more like Clone Wars clone troopers or prequel trilogy clone troopers?
Yeah, so the scene in Ahsoka is a flashback during the Clone Wars show.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's based on an episode, but they do in the Ahsoka show. They do look more like the show, because they're Phase 1.
So the bottom of their helmets look really wide, like they got a large underjaw.
Basically, yeah. I mean, they don't
Okay.
look bad. You know, they look pretty freaking
Well,
cool
in that
for
case,
what they
I
were trying to
prefer
do.
this. I prefer the prequels because I think that they look good in the prequels.
Hmm. Yeah, I think the design is better too, but it was just crazy. Like, I mean, there's one scene in the Obi-Wan show where like a homeless clone is asking Obi-Wan for credits, and that was technically the first, true practical Clone Wars clone armor. Um, but yeah, I just think it's interesting because the one of the biggest selling points of this Ghostbusters movie is, oh, we're doing everything practical, for a lot of it practical. And it's like, all right, they're kind of marketing the movie on that, which I think is cool
Yeah.
because if you guys remember when Episode 7 of Star Wars was coming out, The Force Awakens, J.J. Abrams, I mean, every single movie did it, 7, 8, 9. But they were really, J.J. Abrams was like, yeah, we're going back to the original trilogy style of filmmaking, and we're having a lot of practical effects, and they look great when you blend them. But I think people don't give the prequels enough credit because, I'm not gonna lie, the prequel trilogy has some wonky looking CGI because again, that was an era where George was like, oh, we'll just make everything CGI, it'll be great. Some of it wasn't great. Some of it does look good though, and I think it's really hard to find that balance.
I kind of wish that like especially of course Episode 3 is when the CGI in the prequels was at its peak.
Yes.
And the lightsabers looked really good too, and the only thing I wish they had realized was that lightsabers have glow. So how come when Dooku and Anakin are in that lock together, how come you don't see any blue or red glow on their faces?
Yeah. No, you're right. That's a common issue.
Like,
yeah, and
I'll take a lightsaber and see. Where's the glow? Maybe I gotta move it closer. Oh, sorry.
Exactly. Yeah, right. And then you cut your hand off.
It's not a lightsaber. It's just a saber.
It's a flashlight.
Yeah. Light saber has no light because it doesn't glow.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And what's funny you mentioned that is that the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, there's literally a scene where Obi-Wan's in the dark with his blue lightsaber and like the whole freaking terrain is just like illuminated blue. So I think they took that criticism and just made it better because it is a lot better
too.
Yeah. Yep.
Because you see that forest battle, and of course there's that scene in the Serpent's tunnels where Rey turns the saber on and actually uses it for seeing. It's like, oh, you really fixed the lightsaber. I don't remember it glowing back when Anakin was using it.
Yeah, right. I mean,
obviously
except in
the Clone Wars
directing oversight, but it's funny. And then Poe turns on the flashlight and it's just like, pink.
Like, and then Finn's like, smooth, bro.
Yeah, nice going, dude.
But yeah, I don't mind practical. Just that's what Jurassic World was all about too.
Yeah, exactly right.
I mean,
or you look at
Dominion, maybe not so much. I mean, maybe a little, but then Jurassic World, or not Dominion, just Jurassic World, maybe not so much. But Dominion, they actually built a Giganotosaurus head that came crashing through the building in that one scene. So.
Yeah, I remember that. And plus, when you have practical models like that, especially like a big friggin' dino head, that also helps your actor with their performance. It's instead of like, look at this golf ball, look at this tennis ball.
Because the
it's
thing,
a dinosaur.
the thing actually can kill you.
But yeah, if it goes wrong, pretty much. Or like, another example I like to bring up is The Thing, that horror movie in the 80s. That was all practical. Obviously, they had no computers. But they made I think it was 2010 or 2011 movie called The Thing, and it's like a prequel. I haven't seen the prequel. I've seen the original Thing. And a lot of people hate the CGI in the prequel movie, the 2011 version, because it just isn't as good. And obviously that's just bad CGI because it's old. If they made a Thing movie now, it'd look pretty friggin' good, I'd imagine. But I think that's interesting that I don't think this debate is ever gonna, stop. And then you have like the Batman, the new Batman movie, and like the Mandalorian, and a lot of the Marvel and Star Wars shows do this, where it's in the volume, where it's not necessarily a green screen. It's like those LED things. And I'm not gonna lie, man, the movie The Batman with Matt Reeves and Pattinson, it's a great movie, but the CGI looks photoreal, and it's not. Like, it's all on that thing, the volume. And I believe Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, that movie also uses the volume, and it just doesn't work. So, it's not perfect, but I think that's something that shouldn't maybe always be used. I'm not a VFX guy, but I don't know. It's interesting, though.
Yeah. But, I just take what they give, that's all. I just take what they give, and like I said, I don't have your eyes, so bad CGI I might not always notice, if ever.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some CGI errors. There are some CGI errors with Thanos in both Endgame and Infinity War, but they're mostly on his hands. Yeah, they're mostly on his hand, not his face or anything. They're just like in Infinity War. There looks like a slight CGI error when he's grabbing Loki. The part where his wrist bends, kind of, like his forearm and his hand, the top of his hand, kind of pass through each other instead of, like it doesn't look right. And when he's grabbing Loki, his massive purple fingers pass through, or not purple, they're gold because he's wearing the gauntlet. They seemingly go through Loki's hair as if they're like being slid through, and not, like Loki's hair should be reacting properly, but it's not. And then, of course, in Infinity or in Endgame, when he tries to snap his fingers before Iron Man reveals the trick he pulled on him, his middle finger passes through his hand.
Well, what's interesting is that scene was actually like added pretty late in the game, in the end game, I should say, and I think it's kind of. I mean, it's fine. Like, it looks fine, but I don't know if you saw the DC movie, The Flash.
Of course
that
not.
movie. Yeah, it's not the worst movie ever. I think as a movie, it's fine. Like, I had fun watching it, but the CGI in that movie, oh my god. I mean, you guys listening probably know, but it's just, oh boy. DC movies, they look good when given the time. And the Flash movie was not given the time. I don't blame the VFX artists, but a lot of the CGI in that movie, it's like Shark Boy and Lava Girl. It's downright bad. Yeah. And it's really freaking noticeable.
Yeah. Well, I've not seen it, so I probably won't notice it if I don't see it. So.
Yeah, well, no, you'll notice it. You will notice it, I promise you.
Oh. Okay.
There are some, in the beginning, that Flash saves some babies, and the babies are all CGI. They look like death. They look like aliens. It's really weird.
Okay, well.
Yeah. Just take my word, I guess.
Yeah.
No good.
I will. But, so...
TV's fine, but, oh boy.
Yeah, but next topic.
Yeah.
So, this one, actually, I had... When you were talking about doing your Kong review, actually, I've had this one for a while. You mentioned you have a phobia of ants. So, first of all, were you just saying that, or do you actually...
No, well, I don't know if it's like... It's not like a... I don't like them. It's not like a medical thing. Like, I see a shit... Like, I see a lot of... Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird. It's one of those things where
it's not like Indiana Jones with a snake.
Yeah, I don't freak out that much. But, like, I don't know. It's weird. Because they're so friggin' tiny.
Because I was wondering if you're...
But, like,
I was wondering if ants freak you out that much, if when you saw the ant scene in Indiana Jones, if that made you do jumping jacks out of fear.
Oh, and Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
Yeah, see in movies it doesn't bother me because I know they're all fake. But if I'm like sometimes when I was walking as a kid,
Yeah.
with my poppy or something, I'd walk around the block and I'd see like a bunch of ants. Like one ant doesn't bother me, but when you see like a fudge ton of them and there's like a billion of them and they're all
Yeah.
moving and squirming, it's really like I don't know. I just want to die. But
Okay.
like spiders, I mean, no one likes spiders really, but I'd rather kill a spider than like see a shit ton of ants in like the corner of my room because then it's game over. Like my soul's leaving my body, it's over.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
But yeah,
that was all. I was just wondering if the ant scene freaked you out,
yeah.
but I guess not.
No, actually, I really do love the ant scene. I don't get freaked out by it for some reason.
Okay. So.
I mean, I'd rather watch something else than ants eating someone alive, but
Yeah. But yeah, so I guess next topic then. So you said you
hey, you guys learned something about me, all right? It's cool.
Yeah. So you said you re-downloaded or reinstalled Dead Island 2, so have you played it since then?
Yeah, actually, I reinstalled it about, I don't know, 2 weeks ago or so, and I played the house or whatever
Yeah.
thing. I don't remember buying it. I don't know if it was free for everyone.
Well, there was an expansion pass. That's probably...
Oh, no, you know what I did? I bought the most expensive version, I remember that. It was like $100.
Yeah, you got the Hell A edition, and it came with an expansion pass, so...
Yeah, okay, that makes sense, yeah. I forgot I did that. Yeah, so I played that, the house thing. It was fine, it was cool.
Short.
It's
That's
good.
the biggest...
Like, I forgot how... Well, I forgot how good it was. Like, I still prefer Dying Light 2 because of their open world parkour,
Yeah.
but there's something unique about just kind of the hub worlds and all that. I think it holds up pretty good.
Yeah.
It's still a fun game. And when does the new DLC drop?
April 17th, apparently. And did you find House to be quite short? Or did
Yeah,
you,
I think
did
I
you even
beat it
beat it
in,
yet?
like, I beat it in probably 4 hours. I played like
Okay.
2 hours one day and 2 hours another day.
Yeah. Yeah, Sola Festival is gonna be apparently longer, and apparently there's more to it in this one because there's gonna be two new variants, one of which uses its bowels as whips or something. So
That's cool.
and
I think
another one
didn't really-
apparently
that's cool.
can teleport using some I don't know how they described it. It kind of creates a protective shield of like its own, I don't know, decayed flesh or something, and it
I do that sometimes, yeah.
teleports or something. I don't know, but
That's weird.
yeah, but there's gonna be some new
Now,
weapons too, like a sawdust launcher, as it's called.
Okay, that's cool.
And there's a
Now, are we able to access this DLC? Because I bought the Hell A edition, or do I have to pay extra?
we should be able to access it.
Okay.
I mean, I know a lot. You know, the first thing you're kind of lucky you didn't get it the first on day one because there were problems with getting it out. People, had the thing pop up saying that house is over here, and they go to that table with the bottle on it and the card, and it says you have to, it says, and this is people doing it solo. It was saying that not everybody has this DLC in this session or something.
Did they fix it on that day, or how long did it take to patch it?
I think they fixed it on the day. And
Okay.
then there was,
I would hope.
and then there was a glitch that I discovered after trying to play it a second time with my other character, and I don't know if you saw the glitch video I have on my thing, but basically you can't pick up the well, I shouldn't say that for some reason you couldn't pick up the K prototype if you already used it at some point with that Slayer, and like even before even playing House, and as a result you couldn't pick it up at the bottom of the well, and so people were getting stuck in the bottom of the well because they couldn't pick up the crossbow to shoot the brain to open the door, and so
that took me a while to figure out. Shooting the brain, that was rough.
Yeah, but it was really frustrating because for a long time I wasn't able to do anything with Jacob as a result because he was the one that I was doing it again with, and I couldn't pick up the crossbow. I couldn't shoot the brain with a crossbow I already had because part of the objective is picking up the crossbow on the ground, but it wasn't letting me do it. Like the thing wasn't glowing green or anything, so I couldn't pick it up, and so eventually, finally, a couple months ago, I think it was, I finally played co-op with somebody online who hadn't beaten it yet, and once we got to that point, they picked it up and shot the brain, and finally I got out and could finish the thing.
Perfect. Jeez, that must have sucked, man.
Yeah. Because, Jacob had a bunch of weapons on him that I wasn't able to access with Ryan as a result because they were on Jacob. So, but...
What a mess. I mean, I'm glad they sorted it out, though, right?
Well, apparently they did. I mean, I did this... They released a patch last month or so, and... But that was after I finally got out of the thing, so... the crossbow is still at the bottom of the well in my thing. The door is open, but I can't pick the crossbow up. But, whatever. I'm not doing it a third time unless I completely avoid crossbows altogether. Because that's the only way you can do it otherwise. You have to completely, not even touch a crossbow with another Slayer. So that you start getting bolts and stuff, and then... for some reason messes the thing up in the first place, so but hopefully they get this new one right, because I don't want to see anything frustrating like that in this one too.
Well, yeah, I don't want to deal with any of that either.
In fact,
I'm assuming
weapons shouldn't be required to continue on the game. They should be optional, like if you even want the thing.
Right.
But
they were probably like, oh, cool, everyone's going to want a crossbow. And then they didn't know it was going to mess up, I guess.
Well, also there's the brain thing, and you kind of need the crossbow for the brains, and a lot of the brains are because are, blocking objectives. So, it kind of made sense in that regard, but how could they just mess that up so badly?
I know, it's like the most integral part.
And that particular crossbow, I don't know if you've noticed it, but you can't drop it. Like there's no drop button prompt.
Oh, really?
On the
I did not notice.
The K prototype, that's what it's called. The green one. You can't drop it.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I did know that. Yeah, I tried to drop it, because I remember getting another crossbow from another zombie, I think.
Yeah.
Like his loot, and I couldn't drop the... Yeah, okay, I know
There is a way to get rid of it, though. You have to start a new game with a new Slayer, and just get to the part where you can open the storage locker. And as long as it's in there, then grab it as the new character. Not use it or anything, just grab it in your inventory and then delete the save file. And
oh yeah, I'm not doing that.
Apparently that gets rid of the K prototype. But
well, I mean, if it works, I'm too nervous to muck around with save files. I don't know, I wouldn't do it.
Well, I did it because I didn't want it anymore. I mean, that's
okay. You're braver than me.
Like on the Dead Island Wiki page, they say that once you get the, they say that it was supposed to be you're supposed to be able to drop it once you got the K crossbow, which is the end game weapon you finally get when you finish the thing.
Right.
You know, the K crossbow. That's supposed to, you get that thing, and then you're supposed to be able to drop the K prototype. But,
And you still can't.
Yeah. So, But hopefully they don't do something like that in this next one, because I don't want another dumb weapon that can't be dropped.
Well, yeah, people also just don't want a broken expansion, you know? Like, jeez.
But I certainly won't be playing any
Now, do you
more
think they're gonna make
on it.
Yeah. I've only played as Jacob, the guy in the box art, but do you think, because, I mean, Dead Island 2, it's a very interesting case, because this game was in development hell for God knows how long, and then it finally came out and was actually pretty good, as we all know. You know, people that like zombie games. Do you think they're going to make a Dead Island 3?
Well, there's been rumors that there's nothing confirmed, but there's been rumors anyway.
Okay.
But you know, I just hope this next thing is good too. And they did show a few screenshots from what I've seen, and they show the one that I was talking about that has uses its bowels as whips. They show a slight preview of what it looks like. It's from a distance, you know. It's obviously the player looking at it from a distance, but
right.
So you don't get a very good look at it. And then they also showed this player. It looked like they were holding something that was like an axe made out of a guitar.
Oh, that's cool.
Or something. But yeah,
your boy wants that for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, I hope it's okay. You know,
it should be. I mean, and if there is an issue, it should get patched relatively quick. But
yeah,
honestly, it's just a miracle the game released.
But yeah, it's just,
you know, like you look at games like Cyberpunk that were marketed to heck, comes out completely broken, still pretty broken, and then you get Dead Island 2, which no one even knew existed for a while, and it comes out relatively bug-free. I think that's kind of, as compared to other games, I think that's kind of cool. But do you like, because I still haven't played Dead Island 1, I have to, I will, but do you prefer the singular kind of more open world of Dead Island 1, or do you prefer like the smaller but more detailed hubs?
Well,
because both are pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on the game. I mean, I don't know.
No, I mean that makes sense because, like, you know, Dead Island 2 was they did it deliberately. You know, it wasn't like they couldn't. But I think if they do make a Dead Island 3, I kind of want to see like a Dying Light 2 open world, like just one massive world. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Well, Dead Island 1 is like Dying Light 1. It's multiple open worlds.
Right.
There's at least 4 places that you can explore, and there is a 5th one, but that's kind of like the end game, and there's no going back once you get there until you beat the thing.
Oh.
And then once you beat it, you have to start the game all over again. Like, it's kind of like New Game Plus type thing. But yeah, it's not like Dying Light or Dead Island 2, where once you beat it, you can just do whatever you want after. You're kind of in a story loop. You beat it, and then you start again, you beat it again, but before that 5th place, you have to interact with this radio to get there. So as long as you don't interact with the radio up to that point, you can basically do whatever you want. And that's what I do. That's what you've been seeing me doing in my gameplay in the past. I starting off in the laboratory, as it's called, where the radio is, and instead of interacting with it, I just kind of do what I want.
Yeah.
So
whatever makes you happy, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I don't mind Dead Island 2 either. I mean, I do wish that some certain variants kind of did show up more than they do.
Yeah.
I mean, I've I've been coming across a lot of butchers lately for some reason. They just kind of appear, you know, and they're not even in their little hot spots. They're just kind of all of a sudden, and I don't know how many. A lot of them actually showed up in house when I was.
Not a lot for me.
Oh, well, you're lucky then. They basically,
yeah, I didn't get that many.
They kind of look like the regular butchers, except they have short hair.
Oh, okay.
But,
yeah, I remember a few, but I didn't get that many.
Yeah, but that's I don't really have a favorite, just as long as it's decent.
Yeah.
So
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Now we have time for one more topic. Do you want to go or should I go?
Well, it doesn't matter, I guess. I mean, we will, as long as we have a very brief discussion about, you know, the next movie. Is all
noted.
So
I'll make mine quick.
Yeah.
So,
because it's
I know
next
you're
week,
not a big Disney Plus guy. Yeah.
But
now I know you're not a massive Disney Plus dude, but I know the people that are watching. The Acolyte Star Wars trailer just came out. It looks really great. I just posted a video on it, and the Acolyte is cool because we were previously talking about lightsabers.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of them in that. Now, this show, The Acolyte, is based in the High Republic, which is one of the biggest and newest eras of Star Wars.
Yeah.
I have a few books in the High Republic. I really want to get into the High Republic more, but as you guys know, a lot of it is just books and comics, which I'm all for. I'm currently reading a Star Wars book now, but with school, with filming, all that, it's really hard to read like 60 books, you know?
Yeah.
But what is your experience with High Republic? What do you think of the Acolyte and just this era? Because I think it's pretty cool.
Well, I don't know a whole lot about it except a couple of things. Like, there's more crossguard sabers in it, and there's a Wookiee Jedi from one thing I remember a long time ago, but I haven't actually gotten into it, so to speak. I mean,
okay, so we're kind of in the same boat because I really want to, but it's just like I said, I don't know where to start.
Well, it's
like,
not so much.
There's so many books.
It's not so much. I don't know where to start. It's just I'm saying this as a Star Wars fan still. I'm kind of, I'm kind of losing my interest in Star Wars a little.
Okay.
Like, I'm not hating it or anything. I still like it. I still like what I like, but you know, with everything new they keep pushing out, it's like Marvel. You know, like after Phase 3, only a small handful of next phase movies did I see, and some shows, and I'm just not so crazy.
Yeah, no,
I'm not so crazy
about
it. I'm not so crazy about it anymore. The more they keep going.
Okay.
So.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah, it is hard to keep up with everything for sure, but I'll tell you what, I'll read the books for you.
Okay. Once upon a time.
Yeah, well, yeah, I won't read them to you, but you know what I mean. That'd be weird.
Yeah, once upon a time in a galaxy far, far away. Star Wars,
exactly,
the High Republic. And then
next podcast, it's just going to be me reading stories.
Wow, you better be a fast reader. Just know I probably, about 3/4 of what you say I probably won't remember because you'll be talking so fast and I can only process so at such a speed.
It's all good. Yeah.
But
all right, let's fit in the last topic here with Godzilla, Kong, New Empire. What do you got?
Well, Well, I have been avoiding TV spots on the internet. If there's anything on the TV, I might see it, but I'm not purposely looking for it. But
yeah, I'm not either. I saw all the trailers.
Yeah, I saw. That's all I've seen is just the trailers. And you know, I'm gonna do a marathon before I see it. With all the MonsterVerse stuff, including the shows, because they're fairly short, especially Skull Island. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Skull Island is actually about the length of a movie.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like 20 episodes times 4, or no, not 20 episodes, 8 episodes times 20 minutes. And what do you got?
Mm-hmm.
You got 2 hours and 40 minutes approximately, not counting the disc swapping.
Yes, right. Yeah.
But yeah,
We need season 2 of that, by the way.
yeah, and but also Monarch I'll be watching again.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I need to get that on Blu-ray.
Oh, you still haven't ordered it?
No, I forgot.
That's fine. I'll
get to it.
I still won't spoil it for you.
No, thank you.
Just
Appreciate it.
Although I might say when we see the movie, I might mention that there is in fact something connected in it. But because I haven't seen the movie yet, so I don't know what's possibly connected between it and Monarch. I just know that all the other movies have something referenced in the show.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I'm assuming that will too.
But
because they're all canon, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, and so when are you planning on seeing it? Like the weekend of or the week of?
Well, I'm definitely seeing Ghostbusters before that, obviously, because it's out before. But when this does release in theaters, I'll probably end up seeing it on a Friday
is out
or Saturday.
today, isn't it?
It is, yeah, on Friday. Yep.
So.
Yeah. So, I mean, definitely, I'll be seeing Godzilla Kong. I will be seeing that hopefully as soon as I can. It's not as urgent as like a Marvel movie or Star Wars, but
oh come on! Can you really turn down 4 massive monsters clamming at each other the whole time?
Yeah. Although I'll say this, I'm weird. I'm the type of guy that saw Madam Web like the second day it released, so I kind of owe it to myself to see a better movie. Which, look, Godzilla Kong New Empire, it is obviously going to be better than Madam Web.
Yeah. And Quantumania, by the way.
Yeah, right. Well, Quantumania is leagues better than Madam Web, but it's just yeah. So yeah, I will be seeing it as soon as I can, and then when we both see it, you know, I'll have a review and whatnot. I probably won't spoil it for you guys because, again, I will be seeing it.
Yeah,
pretty much right after it releases.
Well, I probably wouldn't be seeing your review until I've seen it, so. But I might end up seeing it before you for this one, so then I can just watch your review after, and when you talk about something, I'll be like, "Oh, come on, just tell us." I'll just be like, "Yeah, that's what happens. I know exactly what you're talking about."
Yeah, right. Yeah, you'll know when you see it.
Yeah. Well, no, I'll know because I have seen it.
Right.
But
now, one thing to note is that Godzilla vs. Kong was kind of touted as it was kind of supposed to be the last one. And you're like, oh, we'll see what happens, and this might be the final one, because it's like, where do you go from here? Now, if this one does well, which I'm assuming it will, I'm assuming they'll just keep making these movies, because
yeah, well, Adam Wingard's even said that he wants to do a third one and wants to make this kind of a trilogy. And so it'll all be dependent on the success of this one if a third one happens, But
yeah, like I said, I'm assuming it'll do well.
Yeah, it should.
But we'll
I
have to see.
Like people don't like, what Godzilla and Kong are doing in this. At least from what they've seen in the trailers, they don't like them looking like superheroes, but newsflash, they're not superheroes. They're protectors of the Earth.
Yeah.
And they may not like each other,
I never
but
had a
they
problem
have
with
to work together.
Yeah, I think that's the tagline.
You know, it's like you and me, right? Franchise. We don't have to like each other. We have to work together to make these podcasts, right?
Yeah, right. We're forced to do this, guys.
So.
No, but I think it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm excited. I'm gonna see it ASAP and get some videos out.
I'm gonna be seeing it probably on the 2nd of the month of April, because that'll hopefully by then they'll have info on whether there is a post-credit scene or not, and like that. Like I won't spoil even that with myself, but I just want to see, like, on Wikipedia they'll have like the synopsis or the plot, you know. And then I'll just look at the end, and I'll just look to see in the post-credit scene, and then I'll stop reading. And then that way I'll know.
That's perfect,
okay, so there is a post-credit scene. Glad to hear it.
Right.
I don't want to sit through a bunch of important credits and then find out, oh, there's no scene. Darn.
I know, I hate that. Well, I did that actually with Madam Web. I was assuming there wasn't gonna be one because like they kind of sent that movie out to die, but my mom and I were sitting there, and I'm eating my popcorn, and I'm like, oh, there's going to be a post-credit scene for Venom 3 or something. Yeah. And there was nothing. It was just credits, and then you're done. Get wrecked. And I was like, oh, jeez. Like, Marvel movies are known for post-credit scenes, and Madam Web not having one. Like, freaking Morbius had one. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just crazy.
Maybe that could be a topic next time, too, about Morbius, because that post-credit scene was supposed to lead into something, and it's kind of looking like staring into space now.
Yeah, it definitely might, but it also probably won't, so who knows. Yeah. That could be the first topic next time, but
anyway, I guess,
we are over an hour, but this was a good one, man. This was a fun podcast.
Yeah, definitely. And we've got our next one will be probably after we see the movie.
Yeah, well.
Yes. Hopefully, shortly after.
Hopefully, right after whichever one of us sees it after the other, it'll be right after that. Hopefully, so that it'll still be fresh in our minds by the time. Because I don't want to wait a whole month after, and it's like 3 weeks after we've seen it, and then I'm like, wait, which scene are you talking about again?
Wait, what happened?
Oh yeah, I kind of want to do it like we did with the Indiana Jones one we did. It was like 2 weeks after the last one, because I had seen it finally by the time, and I wanted to talk about it before it escaped my mind.
Yeah,
because I wasn't going to see it a second time in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
So. But anyway.
Sounds like a plan. So yeah, you guys expect a podcast after that Godzilla X Kong movie comes out. Pretty shortly after, again, with school and all that, but I should be able to fit something in.
Yeah.
But if you guys like this podcast, make sure to like my video and recons, and of course subscribing is free.
Yeah.
Takes a second. Literally, I clocked it in, and it really does help.
And leave a comment saying hi if you so desire, because it's nice to know that you're communicating with us.
Yes, engage, please. That helps YouTube's algorithm as well.
So
even if you say the video blue, like, please just engage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, on that note, I had a good time.
Yeah, so did I. And
but I'll let you know when we can do another one, and you guys look forward to our next one, which it's going to be Godzilla X Kong, but also some other stuff too.
Yeah,
I know we've talked a lot about the MonsterVerse.
Godzilla X Kong would be like our last topic of that one, because it'd be a spoiler one.
True. Yeah.
So
that's true. Yeah.
But anyway.
I had a good time, man.
Yeah, so did I, and I hope you guys did too. So.
Yeah. So also enjoy the gameplay.
Yeah, because it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Enjoy the fun gameplay.
Yeah.
Because it's fun. But, all right, you guys, take it easy, and make sure to like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Later, folks.